Let's just click that. Just see what'll happen. I don't know. This maybe I'm live on YouTube at least. Let's see what happens now. Alright, I don't know what the delay is, but let's see if you guys can hear me. Can you hear me? I will wait and see what happens. Buffering. I see and hear you. Patty says, hi, Jeremy. Candace Lewis, hearts. And see and hear you. A few minutes, your live is here. Looks like it's working. Apparently, you're supposed to click go live over on YouTube at the same time as going live on the software. And I guess we're learning as we go. Now let's start this off by saying how good is it? Is the quality working for you guys? Can you hear me good? Maybe if the video is crap, at least you guys can hear me good. So it sounds like it's doing good. I'm supposed to be live on Rumble too at the same time. I don't even know if that's working, but it might be. We'll see. We'll have to watch it later on. But it looks like it's working for now, so let's just run with it. I have no idea how long this is going to last. I hope it lasts the whole time. I ditched the other software that I had and essentially got I downloaded new software to try it out. So far so good. Technology, man. I tell you what. So I'm always going to be constantly looking down because I got my computer screen right here. And I got the chat over here. I don't have a team around me that can run the live stream, so I'm running the whole thing while I'm talking to you guys and looking over here. So I know it's going to be super professional right now, but that's what I'm working with. So let me just tell you what this live stream is about, because I want this stuff to be professional, and I'm going to get there one of these days, I swear. But here's what we're working with. I got a message through Facebook Messenger about another missing person, and apparently this child is 11 years old and has been missing for it was I want to say 3 years now. And I swear I did my research, but I'm all nervous and flustered because of this service or this software live streaming thing. So I'm trying to try not to biff it. But you guys know me. You guys are just going to run with it and see what happens. And hopefully it doesn't crash like yesterday. But here's what we got. We have an 11-year-old named Ryan Larsen. And he went missing out of Vista, Nebraska, which essentially looks like the Suburbans to Omaha. And here's the kicker. This 11-year-old walked out of his school during school hours and vanished. It's another one of those cases, vanished like a fart in the wind. You know, that's my saying when it comes to these missing people who just go missing out of thin air. Then to top it off, we're talking about children. And this time we're talking about an 11-year-old child who walks out of a school where he's supposed to be supervised at all times. Now, I don't know how certain schools are in certain places of the world, the country. Maybe they're a little more relaxed over in Nebraska. I don't know. I'm not downing how they run their school. But I know I couldn't, even high school, I couldn't walk out of my school without being seen. Like, there's cameras everywhere. There are teachers everywhere, security guards, all that stuff. And now let's go back to a 11-year-old child who just up and walks out of his class. Now, the story goes, I guess it was between classes. Now, I don't know, 11-year-olds, I don't think that's middle school, but I thought it was just one class. I don't know how schools ran nowadays because, when I was in school, until I got to middle school, it was one teacher, one class, recess. That's it. We one teacher, period. Now, maybe they have numerous teachers in elementary school. I don't know how it's ran. I'm sure there are teachers in here or people who are in the school system that know how these schools are ran. But to me, 11 years old, in school, supposed to be protected, decides to leave and never be seen again. Now, here is the twist. This is an 11-year-old autistic child. And besides the fact that he is autistic, he also had a couple other disabilities. I believe Tourette's was one of them. And I don't know what the other one was, and I don't want to biff it. But what I want to do here, let's see if this messes everything up. But I'm going to switch the screen over to the web browser. And then I'm going to open up my web browser. and we're going to go to the most recent story about Ryan Larsen. And they got a big long story here, and I urge you guys just to Google, Ryan Larsen missing, 11-year-old missing, Vista, Nebraska, and you'll find this story to read along. But essentially the story, the news story goes, the day started off like any other day. Best thing about Ryan, he's so funny, and not necessarily because he's trying to be. Ryan's mom said his favorite things are mad. Disconnected for a second. All right, looks like we're back. So Prism likes to disconnect every now and again, which sucks, but we'll run with it. If anything, I'll change my internet over to something else. I'll try the other one that's in the RV, because right now I got this one out here. It's kind of like Wi-Fi to Wi-Fi, so that might be a bad choice, but I don't know. Either way, I wanted to scroll down here past his picture because the story goes, pretty. Oh wait, I think I went down too far. Hold on. Yep, I'm a Profarius. He's running around here. So pretty much the day started out like normal. We got up, we got ready for school. He was very excited to come home that evening because they had plans. And then around 12:27, the otherwise normal day took a turn. That is when Tammy received a call that would change her life forever. Just minutes earlier, around noon, Ryan reportedly walked out of the La Vista Elementary School. Ryan is on the autism spectrum and also has epilepsy and Tourette's. Epilepsy was the one I couldn't remember. So it looks like Mom got the company. I got the company call from the school saying that they believed Ryan had walked out of the school. They didn't know for sure, and that I needed to come to school. According to Ryan's family, this was not the first time Ryan had walked out of school or gone missing. In general, however, in the past, it had only been for a short time. So apparently he's done this before, which is not reassuring for the family. I actually had called an officer that had gotten to know... Dang, I'm having a tough time reading here. I actually called an officer that had gotten to know, because this is not the first time Ryan has run from the school. He asked her, are you okay? And I said, where do we go from here? She advised her to go home and check for Ryan there, because the school apparently is really close to where Ryan lived. Ryan may have walked home. Let's see. When she arrived, Tammy learned that Ryan had been having an issue in class. Is it lagging? Is it pausing? Are we disconnecting and reconnecting? Because I'm still working out the bugs as I go, but let me know in the chat when it catches up to you guys, because it keeps saying that it's disconnecting and then it's coming back. So, okay, so it's buffering on YouTube. Oops. So I wonder if it buffers. Can you guys still hear me, or was there like a pause you guys got to catch back up? It says buffering. It's back now. Okay. So apparently when it's buffering, I'm losing connection on this thing, and then it's coming back. So when it disconnects, I'm just going to pause, and then I'll wait for it to come back, I guess. That's the only way I could think of doing it. Another thing, maybe I can disconnect the Wi-Fi, and then motorcycle. See how loud that thing is? Yeah, so if it pauses one more time, I'm going to switch Wi-Fis and see what happens. But let's go from there. See, because I'm getting lots of pauses. It's a pause. It pushes, but back now, loses sound, and it waits. It pauses. I do apologize. It is. I'm learning as I go. So if it does it again, we'll figure something out. But let me jump back over here to the story. So like I was saying, so apparently he's supposed to go to a different room to calm down, and he decided to leave. And according to Tammy, Ryan was left unattended for a few moments when switching classrooms. That is when he walked out of the school. And he was never seen again. Now, I seen something else in a different story where the search found an umbrella that had his DNA on it at the house. And so that may be where he went there and he couldn't get in. And so maybe he was playing with the umbrella. Maybe he had it the whole time and he left it there. Maybe the umbrella has no significance on this, but they're thinking he tried to come home. He was locked out because nobody was home, and he left from there, and that's where he vanished. Now, let me show you the map. This is... Come on now. There you go. Get rid of that. This right here is La Vista West Elementary School, where he walked out of class and disappeared. This up here is the apartments he lived in. It's a very short walk. He very well could have walked home and disappeared from there. But this is a very short distance to go, so he could have, I don't know where he went, because there's not any bodies of water that are close by besides, there we go, besides these two. And from what I hear, 2 lakes were drained. I don't know if it were these 2, but it would make sense because it's the closest place that where he went missing. So this would be my first spot to stop and search. But if they didn't find him in there. And then if you, let's see, let's turn the map over to this. Let's zoom out. This town is there. The whole water aspect of it is pretty rare because he didn't walk to any of these bodies of water that were close. The next body of water is down here. And like I said, I don't know what extent the search went into with these bodies of water. Was he familiar with this park? That's actually a golf course, so I don't see how he could have got out here without being seen. So that I don't know about that one. That leads to some maybe a snatching. I'm not sure, but yeah. So let's see what you guys think in the comments. This is where I like to bring the comments, the people into the comments and see what you guys think really quick before we move on. But essentially that is a story. We have another autistic child that I've never even heard of, been missing for 3 years. And is this a trend? Is this a thing that I personally haven't heard about as much? Like, what is it with children who have autism that end up going missing? Now, there are lots of things that I've heard where children with autism are attracted to water. You know, and they do like to run off. They also like to play hide and seek, stuff like that. Or they have a routine where they don't leave the house. They don't walk away. They're attached to the hip to their parents. Maybe this is just depending on the kid, depending on how, what is it, on the spectrum or something like that, or how severe their autism is, depends on how they act. And then to top things off, he had epilepsy and Tourette's. So this is not, I don't know. This 11-year-old child leaves school. I'm assuming broad daylight. Nobody saw anything. You know, is this town dangerous? Is there snatchings going on in La Vista? How many kids are missing in La Vista? It's right next to Omaha. Usually, the bigger the cities, the more crime there is. So, I don't know. I don't know. This is a crazy case, and it point. To me, I'm thinking lots of land. Maybe he was walking. Maybe he did make it home. Maybe he got picked up by somebody. Maybe it was a kidnapping. I don't know. But you know what? I want to keep his story alive because I never even knew about it. And the family reached out to me just a couple days ago, and I immediately started looking into the story. And it breaks my heart. It totally breaks my heart. I don't understand these kids just vanishing, and then supposedly there's no story. There's no way to... There's no clues. There's nothing. Sebastian just disappears in the middle of the night. You know, Summer Wells, not even autistic, you know, but that doesn't change the fact that a child went missing. She just vanishes, you know. Now we got Ryan, vanishes. There's... How many other kids are vanishing, you know, every single day? This is a crazy problem, and man, I think it should be not that I'm saying children aren't being made are you know aren't. All right. Let me see here. I switched Wi-Fi. Fuck. Nope. It's that damn internet. Okay. Here we go. Oh my goodness. So, is this still working? Or is it working now? Either way, hopefully it still works. Let me know what you guys are. Welcome back. Yes, yep. So what I did, I ran inside and I told the kids to stop playing with all of their toys. Like Fiona was inside playing with the Oculus VR headset, and then Gavin was watching videos on his iPad. So let's see if keeping them off of their stuff helps me. Try that. Where were we? All right. I wanted to bring you guys into the conversation. So I'm sure you guys talked, but here's what I want to do. Let's go back over here. I'm just going to keep on talking. Hopefully we do not cut out. Let me switch over here, show you guys what I'm talking about. Go to the intro net. Pull this up. Here's the map. Let me see here. Now, what I was talking about was children are attracted to water. And I don't know if that's true or not, but it is in some cases at least. And it says right here, this just happened April 7th, 2024. An autistic boy was found and pulled from the Lancaster Creek by a first responder. He was rescued, and he is alive, which is good. And it says right here, I don't know if it's true or not, through training, it was recognized that persons with autism are typically drawn to water. And I don't know, I'm not saying that's true or not, but luckily, according to Lancaster County Emergency Services at 4:40 blah April 3rd, multiple local emergency crews responded to the area of Shore Drive to report of a missing boy with autism. Upon arrival, they quickly began to search. And apparently Lancaster Creek was identified as the closest body of water. Crews reportedly found the boy in the creek about 10 feet from the shore. Luckily, it sounds like he was, he's alive. He didn't sink. That's a good thing. This is a great ending. One less tragic accident. But is this true? Could he be, are autistic children attracted to water? I don't know. You guys tell me. We'll figure it out together. But it seems like there's a trend of children going missing, and then all of a sudden there's this autism factor to throw in, and I don't know anything about it. And you know what? I'm very curious, and I want to learn what's going on with children going missing with autism. Now, there's lots of children going missing that don't have autism, and we can't forget about them too. But right now, today we're focusing on Ryan Larsen missing. 3 years, vanished out of his school, 11 years old, doesn't make any sense. And I wanted to talk about that again because if you dive more deeper into this story, is the school, are they being held liable? What's the story with the school? Like, are they in trouble? Did anybody get yelled at? Stuff like that. That's what I would want to know, because like the first thing, I send my children to a school, like for instance, my younger son goes to a school, and it's small. There's I don't know, there's a few kids in it, but there's also a full-time cop, an armed police guard, and there are teachers everywhere. And Gavin, my son, he's just not walking out of the school, without being seen. It's just not going to happen. Same. Now my daughter, she's in middle school. I bet she could probably get out if she wanted to. But at the same time, you're putting your child in the care of the school and the teachers and the staff, and you're hoping that they do their job, and they teach your kid what they're supposed to, and they also keep them safe. Now, when an 11-year-old kid can walk out of his school and nobody sees anything, that kind of sounds like a problem to me. And I recently heard that the family was, I think, trying to file a lawsuit against the school, and the judge dismissed it. So why did the judge dismiss it? And that doesn't make any sense either. So I don't know. That is one story, and I have a couple more stories I want to share with you guys also. But the main focus of today was focusing on Ryan Larsen, but we also have ourselves another girl that is missing, and I wanted to pull her page up. Vista, Tennessee. Apparently, this Facebook page, and I didn't even switch it over, so let me do that real quick. Show you guys what I'm talking about. Come on. No? Yes? There we go. Vista, Tennessee. It is a volunteer search and rescue. Tennessee volunteer search and rescue. And, you scroll down here, immediately you got the featured stories. Sebastian. But the most recent story right here is there is a missing juvenile. As far as I know, she is still missing. This was posted 7 hours ago. 14 years old. It says brown, purple hair, cut off jeans and shorts, white tank top, carrying a black bag backpack. If seen, called the White County Sheriff's Department. Gee, if anybody is watching this, White County is in the area where there's a cluster of missing people not only is it missing people, it's different, like murders, bodies found, missing people, supposed suicides that are all unsolved, and it's like, this is the county that I've been bitching about for the last few days on here. Tennessee and this is the county. This is the one this is the one. If you look it up, District 13, White County, it's crazy. But this is the girl that's missing. If you see her around town, by all means, call someone. Call White County. Apparently she's missing, and that's all I know. Unfortunately, but I do know she's missing in the same area where there's all kinds of drama and problems and negligence on the police part and investigators, and there's lots of family members in this area who are fed up and tired of it, but I don't even know, I would think, why would you, these are all elected officials, why are they being voted into office? Know what I mean? Know what I mean. Let's jump back over here. So, you know what? I love interacting with the people in the chat room. So why don't you guys tell me what you think about that? I know there's a lot of people who watch my channel who are from Tennessee and know all these stories. They probably have heard about them, and they're fed up, and they feel like they have no one to turn to because it feels like the police, everybody has turned their backs on them. They don't seem to care about their families, stuff like that. But I'm kind of getting a kick out of this because I like to showcase how poorly certain places, like officials, are doing. Like, for instance, the sheriff in this town, he was voted in. So, like, the people voted this guy into office. The best way you can get rid of somebody that you don't like, you would think, vote him out. And then, but then you can go over to that other one. We're like, well, what if the voting's rigged? Now, we don't want to say that too loud because we'll probably get demonetized or something. But, like, in the local level, in the city levels, like, you're voting these sheriffs in, you're voting these DAs in, all these elected officials are getting voted in. Are they corrupt? Is the voting system corrupt? Because all I'm hearing is horror stories and about how everybody hates these officials, but yet they're being voted in again and again and again. Why? How does that work? Now at a national level, it's a very scary thing to say about voting and all that stuff, but at the local level, like just your sheriff, your DAs, whoever else you vote into office, I don't really know much more about it, but they were voted in. And the sheriff, that one guy that gave me a hug when I found the two teenagers, Sheriff Page, he was an elected official and he was up for re-election, and I don't know if that whole finding the two teenagers got him reelected, but he sure ran on like lies, and I'll just call him out right now because I'm still pissed off about it. If you remember that video and you remember when he hugged me and all that stuff, and I called him on the phone, I said, hey, because I had his number, I was like, because I don't know, Facebook, he messaged me on Facebook like a couple days prior, and the one thing he didn't say was, you should look here, you should go here, you should look here. He didn't say any of that. The first time I've ever talked to that guy on the phone was at the Well, you saw it on video. That's the first time I ever talked to him. And he went out and started telling everybody that, oh, yeah, I told Jeremy where to look. I told him you're looking in the wrong spot. You should go look here. So he essentially tried to take the credit for guiding me. And then he started, like, I'm not going to diss religion or anything, but then he started spouting out this. I was praying and Jesus pointed me in the right direction. And I told Jeremy where to look and all this stuff. And I'm just like, oh, my God, dude, are you kidding me? Dude took credit for nothing. I was the one that found these kids all by myself in my little inflatable boat right there in town, 10 feet underwater, with no help whatsoever, except for the Facebook page that was running for, Justin, for Jeremy, and Aaron. The girl who ran that page, she was helping me out. She was telling me places to search. And I went and searched those places. So, yeah, the girl that runs those pages, she helped me out a bunch. It was her and me. Nobody else helped me out. So, and then the dude sends me a $50 gift certificate to O'Charlie's. And you know what? I would have rather gotten just a generic piece of paper that from the sheriff that said, like, on behalf of Sparta, the city of Sparta, we would like to thank you or something like that. I would have liked that more than a freaking gift certificate to O'Charlie's. Hell, they've closed nearly all of them where I live. So that'd do me no good, So, oh my God, it was so stupid. I never used them either. I think I still have them here somewhere. I was thinking about framing those and putting them on the wall. My greatest reward, it's just so stupid. But geez, let's see what else I want to show you guys. Let me switch back over to this screen. Pull up my browser again because I had some other story I wanted to share with you. So we do have this, and my wife showed me this morning, and I want to pull this up right here. And there's this cute little girl, and she apparently she showed up. I had to double check. Sorry. Apparently she showed up in the backyard, wandering around, 3 years old, and now they're trying to track down her family because they can't find her family. Well, that's a great, sad story, right? And if you see this on your Facebook page or some other stories like that, but yet these stories are popping up like in weird groups, like online garage sales, or some other group that it really doesn't make sense why this would pop up. Well, read this very carefully right here. Bobby Renee missing. 3-year-old found wandering in Westerville. Need help locating her family, right? Well, for starters, this website, Higher Obits, this is a junk webpage. Don't even go to it. But here's why I'm saying all this stuff. Is now we go over here, and I Googled Bobby Renee missing scam because it just sounded fishy. And then sure enough, you could start going through here. And here's a Facebook page. This 3-year-old baby girl, Bobby Renee, was found last night, blah, blah, blah. But look, Staten Island everything was the group. All right? And then here's that higherobits.com.ng, which is a big red flag. And then we go down here again. Oh, here's the same story. This 3-year-old girl, baby girl, Bobby Renee, Richmond, Wayne County, surrounding areas. Scanners, right? Here's another one. Current Chronicles Homes. Bobby Renee, missing 3-year-old girl, found safely in Fort Smith. So what I'm getting at here is all of a sudden every so often I will get these messages and I'll look into it. And I actually got one from about Sparta, about a missing person in Sparta. And I reached out to the girl that helped me with the Facebook page. I don't want to say her name because I don't want to throw her out there because Sparta's a small town and I don't want to get her phone blown up. But yeah, I got this message like, oh, so an old man went missing in Sparta. Need your help finding him and stuff. But the message came through all of the online yard sales and garage sales on Facebook. And then somebody forwarded me the message and I was like, why the hell would it be posted there? And so I looked into it and come to find out it's just a scam. They want you to click on it, and then you end up clicking a link that lets the bad guys in, and then they, Trojan horse or some kind of malware, and essentially they'll dig into your, they'll dig into your computer, they'll find everything they need, empty your bank accounts, typical identity theft. Or, in my case, you click that link and all of a sudden you've let them into your Google account, and then they change your web page or your YouTube page into selling Bitcoin, because that is exactly what happened to me. So, nope. Looks like my daughter's in the chat room, so that's great. Stay inside. I'm trying to be serious here. So, long story short, if you get these missing person messages and they sound sincere, like that one, 3-year-old girl walking in the woods trying to find her home. Very sad story, very touching. But what you don't want to do is click on the links, and the next thing you know, you're screwed. Malware will take over your system, and the next thing you know, you're going to start getting these messages about your bank account being hacked, and it's just a nightmare. They tug on the heartstrings. The scammers will tug on the heartstrings, and that's how they get you. So, to do a little recap, the main focus of today is the 11-year-old that went missing in Vista, Nebraska. And this is right outside of Omaha. And you guys tell me in the comments what you think about that story, because I would love to know your thoughts. And now I can actually focus on it because, I don't know, I'm kind of calming down here a little bit. But let's see here. Remember, if you got any questions for me, put like 3 Q's before the question, or just highlight me. If you're on a desktop, I can see it coming through. But while I said that, you know, this thing that I'm doing here, talking to you guys, and I guess it's working now. There's no glitches. I guess we had to keep them off of the computer inside the house so I could actually have a good live stream. But yeah, I want to be out there in the field searching, and at the end of the day, the best thing that we can do is come together as a community and support one another. And the best way you guys can support me is if you go to my nonprofit. I have a legit nonprofit, Rapid Compassion Collective. RapidCC.org is where you guys can go and donate. It is the best way and the easiest way for you guys to donate. It goes into a bank account. Nobody gets a piece of the pie, and that money is only used for the nonprofit, which focuses on searching for missing people and cleaning out the waterways. And we're not spending that money on any kind of toys, any kind of, you know, lavish stuff. The money is not being wasted. Mainly it goes into gas, maintenance, and equipment, like air and stuff like that. And food, to tell you the truth. But we also get lots of Cracker Barrel gift cards, and that feeds us too, because we always camp out at Cracker Barrel anyways. But the quickest way, if you want to donate, go over to rapidcc.org and donate right there. 5, 10, $100, whatever you want. And it helps that a long ways, because we can live off PB&Js. And as long as the gas stays filled up, you know, we're good to go. So it looks like we got a few comments or questions. Let me jump on them really quick. You live in Sparta, Tennessee? ? I thought you lived up near Cartersville. I do not live in Sparta, Georgia, actually. Sparta, I didn't know there was a Sparta, Georgia, but no, I don't live in any Sparta. Sparta, Tennessee is where I found the 2 missing teenagers. I live north of Atlanta, up near Ellijay. I live in Jasper, Georgia. Small town. Love it here. Very quiet, except for the motorcycles screaming up and down all the time. Not a fan. But it's what I got to deal with. Please tell them about the autistic child that's missed the details. Okay, let's do a little recap. I will pull the story back up, but I gotta be awkward here for a second. Let's switch over the screen, jump right back into the browser, click on this. We'll go back over to the story. Nearly 3 years, and he is still missing. This little guy right here, 11-year-old Ryan Larsen, walked out of his elementary school in Vista, Nebraska on May 17th, 2021. He is autistic, and he also has epilepsy and Tourette's. But apparently he's a fun-loving, giggling, likes to play pranks on his sister's kiddo. He likes his toys, Legos, Matchbox cars. You know, sound like a fun little guy. You know, no reason to hate on him. He's from a loving family. You know, but he just up and walked out of his school. Let me see here. I want to find the story part so I don't get any details wrong. So mom dropped him off at school May 17th, 2021. Day started off pretty normal. Around 12:27 p.m. the same day, the day took a turn as Tammy, the mom, received a call that would change her life forever. Ryan reportedly walked out of La Vista West Elementary School and disappeared, vanished. And this is broad daylight. This is an 11-year-old kid. He somehow managed to walk out of his school without anybody seeing him. And I guess the story goes he was in class, he got frustrated, and they have a system set up for him to where he can leave the class and go to another classroom. Maybe it's a quiet room to just chill and calm down, and gather his thoughts. But apparently he left class, walked to, I guess it's supposed to be going to this other classroom, but it said just left. And nobody saw it, which I find unacceptable because he's 11 years old. This school, I understand if it's in high school or even middle school, you probably have a little bit more like ways to leave school without being seen. But as an 11-year-old child, it's very hard for me to believe that he just walks out of school and nobody saw it. I find that disturbing, to say the least. And if I was the family, I would 100% hold the school liable for that. But it's something I wouldn't really want to think about until I could figure out what happened to my kid in the first place. But it does say, though, that according to Ryan's family, this is not the first time Brian had walked out of school or gone missing in general. However, in the past, it has only been for a short time. So he has ran off before, but he was found. For some reason, this time he ran off and he was never seen again, which is incredibly sad. 11-year-old kid, I can only imagine what these parents think or how they're feeling. It's got to be horrible. And that's it. The family has been fighting to find him ever since, and they just have no clue where he went. And it breaks my heart, to say the least. But it would be really cool to see that he comes home alive. It's been a few years now. I hate to think, the worst outcome of any of these missing kids, but I really just wish the family could have answers. I would almost think it's worse than losing a child and not knowing what happened to that child. That would drive me nuts. That would ruin me. It would probably ruin my marriage. It would probably ruin my social life. It would ruin everything. I would be obsessed. I wouldn't stop. I would constantly be bothering people. I would constantly be digging under rocks. Nothing would stop me from looking. I would lose everything. It would consume me. I 100% believe it would break me. And having my daughter listening to this, now she at least knows for a fact, in case she ever doubted me, that I love her so much. But that was a recap really quick. Let me scroll back into the comments, see if I missed any questions. Somebody says they have a close friend that lives in Ellijay, just north of me. Very pretty town. Pretty little town. It is nice. I guess there's a Sparta, Illinois also. And I don't see any questions. Could you and Adam, somebody asked me, Mark Jeffers asked, myself and Adam, could we do a SAR Tech course so you have more knowledge and understanding about searching and law enforcement? Maybe. I don't know where I would go do this class, but I would like to learn as much as I can. But other than that, if you guys got any more questions of me, we can go on live right now for 49 minutes, 13 seconds. And apparently the live stream is actually working now. So maybe the problem is my kiddos inside playing on their Oculus and everything else, sucking up all the bandwidth, and that's what's causing it to crash. So, I don't know. What do you guys think? Maybe this was the better one. Maybe tomorrow might be better. I went live yesterday and today, and I don't know. I would like to make it a regular thing, but what do you guys think? Do you guys enjoy this type of content? Do you want me to go live versus putting out videos? I'd like to do both, to be honest with you. Somebody did tell me the Sparta, Georgia is just east of Lake Oconee. See, I didn't even know there was a Sparta here. I'm not surprised. There's a Springfield in every state, I think. So Sparta, I guess Sparta's a common place. But Sparta, Tennessee is the one I focus on a lot because there's lots of horror stories coming out of this area. And like, if you would pull up a map of Tennessee and it gives you a dot for every missing person, there's a big cluster of missing people around that county, around that town, White County, in the neighboring, like it's it's pretty noticeable. It's not just, oh well, they're close to Nashville, or oh, they're close to Memphis. They're not. I think no, they're not close enough to maybe consider like, well, maybe they're going missing because of the big towns. I don't think so. I think there's something terribly. I think there's something. Man, I'm gonna tell you right now. I think there's something dark. I think there's something terrible going on in Tennessee, and I think, and man, I tell you what, it scares me to even talk about this stuff. But I think there's some evil there, and I think this evil spreads farther than just civilians, just criminals. I think it goes deeper into the system. I think there's corrupt police officers. I don't know how high in the chain of command this corruption goes, but I've been hearing not just a horror story. I've not just been hearing little stories here and there. Like, I've been getting lots of messages by a lot of different people who are in this area who are telling me horrible things about what they've seen, about what they've heard, about what other people have said they've seen and told somebody else, and then they go missing, or they magically end up killing themselves. An otherwise happy person who witnessed something ends up dead by suicide is what the ruling was, even though it was blatantly obvious that it wasn't a suicide. Like, I'll just give you a little hint because I don't want to go too deep into the story yet because I'm still working on it. But there is a person who died and they ruled it a suicide. When they found the body, he was on the ground in the fetal position and his face was beat to hell. The shit had been kicked out of this guy and he was dead. And the injuries weren't consistent with a hanging, but somehow it was ruled a hanging, and that's it. And apparently the case is still open, but it's been open for a while, and there's nothing that's moved forward. It's just people like me talking about it. And I got a message from a family member. Great detail on what she knows, and it's disturbing to say the least. And I want to make sure that she's safe before I start sharing this story with you, because this story is dark, and it might open some serious doors, and it could I'm afraid to put me in danger by just telling the stories, but I don't know how it works. I don't know how deep this goes. I mean, I've been hearing things about the cornbread mafia. Like, as corny as that sounds, is it a real thing? Is there a bunch of country folk running around the hills of Tennessee in some kind of a huge organized crime of sex trafficking and kidnapping and child exploitation and stuff like that? There's a drug epidemic because there's a nationwide drug epidemic. I mean, it's everywhere. The once beautiful cities are now overrun by drugs and needles and crime. We went to Austin here not too long ago, and Austin is an awesome city. Austin, awesome. And now it's slowly falling apart with the homelessness and the drug epidemic. There's needles everywhere, and it's not even as bad as some of these other cities you've seen. So, I mean, I don't know what to think, but I'm going to keep talking about it. I keep getting these stories. There is obviously something dark and deep going on that sounds like a dang movie, but is it real? And how deep does it go? Because you have somebody that got severely beaten, probably beaten to death, and then the official autopsy, the official result was a suicide. That means there were officials in there. There was an official autopsy. There was a police detectives that wrote up a report that said hanging, that said suicide, but they find him on the ground with his face caved in. That's terrifying to think about why they would say that. So, I don't know. This sounds movie quality. It sounds nuts. It sounds crazy, but it also sounds. It's so weird. It's so weird. It's overwhelming to think about when I'm just sitting here talking out loud about it. This channel used to be fun and exciting, talking about treasures, and then we got into missing people, which feels great. I like searching for missing people, but now it's got into some dark stuff. Like, there are still missing people, and I want to spread the word about all of them, but then the stories behind these missing people, and then you start falling down this rabbit hole of missing, why they went missing. All of a sudden, there's these horror stories about several children missing, and like, it's spooky to say the least. And I don't know about this cornbread mafia thing. That is the dumbest name I've heard, but at the same time, it might be a very real thing, and maybe there's a good reason why no one's talking about it. So what does that tell you? Sorry, I got a thing up here. So there are some people in the comments asking me what case it's about. I'm staying hush hush about it because I've been talking to the family, and I want to make sure that they're safe, because I'm sure. But then another thing, I'm sure the story isn't a secret. You know, I'm sure it's been out. I'm sure the mom and the family have told everybody they can think of, and they just want to keep this story alive. But I want to do the right thing. I don't want to be crazy live streamer and then just start talking about stuff and putting everybody in danger. Because small towns, you know, I'm sure it's the same kind of concept. If you snitch, you snitches get stitches, something like that. But I've been seeing. Let me go back in the comments a ways here. See what we got here. See, June said she appreciates us searching for the missing. You're amazing. I do appreciate that. And I am sorry the beginning of this live stream was so glitchy. Like, I had to get up, and if you guys do watch this in the replay and you've made it this far, appreciate you sticking around, because it's just it's a learning process. You know, like, I'm not used to using a software to live stream. It's always my phone, and it's super easy. But I want to show you guys pictures. I want to show you maps. I want to show you what I'm talking about. I want to show you proof that I'm not making any of this up. So that's why I pull up these news stories and show you what I'm talking about, and let you know, like, yeah, this is real. This is really a real person, and this is a and then there's like, oh, this is a scam. This is not a real person. Let me see. Debutante asked, did you see a connection with Child Protective Services? I'm seeing a pattern. That's just another avenue of. That's not even an avenue. It's just there could be corruption anywhere. Like, any police department, any Child Protective Services, anything like that, even the fire department, there's gonna be dishonest people. There's gonna be corruption at its finest. I just watched a video the other day. A police officer was caught essentially red-handed by the criminal, or the guy that got arrested, in handcuffs, stealing his money. He got caught red-handed, luckily, and he went to jail the same day as the guy he just arrested for, like, extortion or something like that. And that story's going viral pretty quick. But it goes to show you, even say 15 years on the job, and then he gets caught stealing. You know, that wasn't his first time. He's been stealing for the last 10 years at least. You know, he's a dirty cop, and that just goes to show you. Every place is going to have. I don't trust anybody in that kind of capacity. And it's not that I don't like them, and it's not that I don't want to trust them, but it's almost like that you walk into a room of rattlesnakes and which one's going to bite you, right? And unfortunately, the way it is nowadays, you just don't know who you're going to be talking to or who you're going to run into. That's why everybody says film the police. That's why everybody says always have a camera on you. And that's why everybody pulls out a phone the moment there is drama and start recording. And it's stupid sometimes. You're like, man, this guy... People are recording everything. And, you know, it's always for that 5 minutes of fame, you think. But honestly, if it wasn't for recording, like, all these, like, the dirty ones they're going to keep getting away with it. And that's... You know, that's my thoughts on that one. See, I run wild, man. I start talking about stuff, and I just run with it, and that's what I'm thinking there. What did you think about Kane Hollow? Used to be a shady place. I believe Kane Hollow was outside of Sparta, and there's a big boat ramp there, and like every time I went there, the water was super low, and I searched that spot too, and there ended up being a Mercedes underwater that they've since pulled out. But yeah, from what I heard, that was the place to go to do, you know, tailgating, camping out, campfires, drinking, drugs, all that stuff. I'm sure it still happens there, because when I went there, there were still burnt out campfires. But if that's the same spot we're talking about, yeah, it was the same as any other boat ramp I've been to, but it was isolated. It was back in the middle of nowhere. You could get away with anything. And I know that place was searched for the two teenagers several times. I searched there myself. But yeah, they did build a new boat ramp there, and it looked nice when I went there, but there was still a car in the water. So, I mean, even the nice boat ramps get people dumping cars, dumping whatever else. If there's nobody around, it's a great place to dump stuff and to do illegal stuff. It's very simple. Tons of negligence in the system, not to mention the court system releasing the criminals with just a slap on the hand. Yep. There are certain places where you can get away with stuff and they'll let you go like out on bail or even no bail. Just a ticket, a must appear. And you guys know what I'm talking about. You've been watching the news. There are certain places around the country that are very relaxed on crime. And that's probably why crime is out of control in that area. But then you go over to the other part of town and crime, like they're locking people up for anything. It's almost like they have to lock. We gotta meet our quota, so we're gonna punish everybody for the littlest thing with the maximum amount of fines and jail time and all that stuff. So is there ever going to be a happy medium where the cops can just do their job right and people can fall in line with the laws and not constantly get in trouble? You know, is there going to be a happy medium where it all balances out? Or is this always just going to be just a crapshoot no matter what? Like, we either have law and order and the cops are running wild and everybody is scared of their own shadow because they're afraid if they, pass on a double line, they're going to get arrested, or they can knock off a liquor store at gunpoint and they don't have to worry about getting caught because all they're going to do is get a must appear, and they end up 9 times out of 10 not even showing up. The law system in this country now is so nuts. Let me see here. Marlena Cantu made this comment well noticed. Want to talk about corruption. Sheriff Ronnie Lawson's son, Summer Wells case, only served 1 year on a 20-year sentence for SA on her own family. And SA is the PC way of saying sexual assault. And I don't really care anymore. I'm not going to sugarcoat it on these live streams. YouTube can censor me all they want. That's why I stream on other platforms too, because of this exact reason. All right. Well, it looks like this live stream is coming to an end because my battery is about to die on my laptop. So I want to appreciate everything you guys are doing for me and watching. And my lovely daughter wants to come in and say goodbye one more time. She's been listening. But wave goodbye. The battery is dead. And she got a green tongue. So anyways, make sure you guys go to show your support nonprofit rapidcc.org and help me out. And also send me some messages, Facebook Messenger, leave me in the comments, tell me how I'm doing. If you guys want me to keep going live and keep talking nonstop, I'll do it. Maybe this will become a live stream channel and the pre-made videos will just go out the door. I don't really know. I love doing this, and I feel like I have a knack for it. So as time goes on, maybe I'll get better and better and better at it. Maybe I'll even get a second screen so you guys can watch. But either way, that's it for me. I appreciate you guys watching.